Nile Gardiner, even a few hours aren't over after the end of King Charles' US state visit, that you're back to yapping about Harry and Meghan. For goodness sake, have some, even respect yourself, for goodness sake. I know that you're hoping that King Charles' state visit goes well and it failed, but it's your fault. It's your fault. It's Charles' fault.
Yeah.
It is not a Harry and Meghan fault. It's not a Harry and Meghan problem even. So now, Gardner, grow up. Just grow up,
Brian.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I feel like during King Charles' failed state visit, I feel like British media were hoping, Meghan and Harry will get popped outside, or even Meghan would post something maybe on her Instagram just so the British media can complain about it. And they are angry they didn't get their way. What do you think about that, Brian?
I feel the same way. Yeah. I have a feeling that that's what they had planned. I feel like they even had paparazzi that they paid for going to Montecito to try and, of course, catch a glimpse of Prince Harry and Meghan and even their kids. I think that's what UK media were looking for. Because I feel like paparazzi offered so much money to try and, of course, get that picture. And they didn't get it. Because I feel like, UK media always want to cause problems. Always want to cause division or pretending that they're all about unity. We all know that they're lying about it. They don't care about unity. UK media, as Harry even said in Spare, their business model depends or relies on members of the royal family being at odds with each other. Harry was right about them 100%. So I feel like they were looking for something to complain about. Oh, Meghan has been packed here in California shopping. How could she do this in the midst of King Charles' state visit? And I feel like they tried to get that and they did not get that.
Of course,
I don't know what Harry got out. Maybe they just kept a low profile. But clearly, they didn't get that. UK media didn't get what they wanted.
Exactly.
Because they always are looking for something to complain about. And Meghan not posting on Instagram, during King Charles' state visit, I feel like that even was a master class.
Exactly.
Was really good.
Oh my God.
Just to keep UK media from having something to complain about. So now that the state visit is over, basically, UK media are back to their usual antics. They're complaining once again because they didn't get what they wanted. Because clearly the state visit has been a failure. It's completely failed. And now they're back to, of course, whinging and moaning about Harry and Meghan, saying how irrelevant Harry and Meghan are, yet
they're still talking about them.
As you said, Winnie. Yeah.
Make it make sense,
as
Brian always says. I have asked that question because I saw a comment from Prince William's friend, Nile Gardiner, who we are talking about, who just posted on X, formerly called Twitter, and a comment saying this, and I quote, the biggest irrelevance of this week's magnificent state visit has been Prince Harry not even included in the White House state dinner for his own father, King Charles. Now, Brian, this is the hot question. If Harry is irrelevant, as they claim, why are they still talking about him?
I think you just answered yourself, basically, there. You just answered yourself. If he's irrelevant, why are they talking about him? Like every single day. Why are they talking about Prince Harry if he's so irrelevant? When Charles went to New York, to Harlem, nobody was happy that he was there. People in Harlem were complaining about seeing barricades put in place. They weren't happy about Charles' visit. Wherever Charles and Camilla have gone, people aren't happy about the US state visit. And because of that, to mask the failure of this state visit, what do people like Nile Gardiner resort to? They're going to, Harry and Meghan are irrelevant. Maybe he's trying to convince himself by telling himself time and time again, Harry and Meghan are irrelevant. They're irrelevant. Maybe he believes that if he says it many times, it'll be true. But that is not.
You better wake up.
Snap out of it. Wake up, Nile Gardiner. Wake up.
Wake up.
Just wake up, Nile Gardiner.
Oh my
because you will not. Harry and Meghan will never ever be irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Even for as long as Harry and Meghan are living rent-free in your head,
exactly.
they will never ever be irrelevant. Even,
never.
Winnie, a few hours hasn't even passed by. Even a day hasn't gone by at the end of King Charles' visit, and they're already mourning about Harry and Meghan. And then they're saying that, Harry and Meghan, you are irrelevant. Sure, Nile Gardiner, if that's what you tell yourself before you go to bed at night. But that doesn't make it true.
It would come to reality.
It will never become a reality, because for as long even as they're living in your head, rent-free in your head, they will never, ever in their lives ever be irrelevant. And also I feel like that question or that comment was posted on X about Harry not being invited to the White House for King Charles' visit. I feel like they're trying to pass the blame for Charles' failures onto Prince Harry, and saying that it's Harry's fault.
It's Harry's fault.
I won't allow it. I'm sorry, but I won't allow it. Charles is a failure as a father himself. He's a failure as a grandfather to Archie and Lily Diana. His PR team, people like Nile Gardiner, should not pass, Charles' failures onto Prince Harry. Harry is a good husband. He's a good father. He's a good father to his kids. He's present. He's there for his kids. He is someone who fights for the safety of his wife and children, because he is a real man. A real man. And Harry is a man that Charles honestly would never ever be. That's just how I feel personally, myself. Because look at what Harry has done to keep his family safe. Look at what Charles has done to keep his son unsafe. To make his son be unsafe. Look at what he's done. It's even painful to even talk about it, basically. Like, how can a father take away security from his own son?
I know.
Even I myself have argued with my own mother.
But not to the point.
But not to the point that my mother wants to put me in danger for goodness sake. A parent should never ever do that to their child, their daughter, or their son. Never ever. And if God willing one day become a father, I will never ever do that to my own son. To see what Charles has done to his own son is appalling. And UK media want to cover that, Charles, failures as a father and say it's Harry's fault. It is not Harry's fault. It is Charles' fault. I know that the PR arm of the royal family, UK media and Nile Gardiner, have a job to do to cover for the royal family, to cover for Charles. But you can't cover for someone who shows himself he doesn't care about his own son. Because Harry also will not take himself to a place whereby he is unwelcome. Harry and Meghan only go to places whereby they've been welcomed, whereby they've been invited to come over. Even I myself also, I don't want to go to a wedding or a birthday party of someone and I've not even been invited. I want to go to a place whereby I have been welcomed, whereby I have been invited. That's where I want to be, Winnie. I want to be in that place whereby I'm welcome, whereby I'm invited, whereby you say, Brian, can you come over?
Come.
Exactly. But even I see that the Nile Gardiner want Prince Harry to somehow take himself to a place whereby he isn't welcome, or even go to a place whereby he's not invited. Harry just won't do that. Harry would not do that. Harry is a gentleman. Something that Nile Gardiner even does not understand. Look at how UK media, for example, how they behave. Harry and Meghan don't want UK media to be around them. But look at how they keep on trying to enter Harry and Meghan's space, to force themselves upon Harry and Meghan to enter their space, to enter the inner circle. Time and time again, we see that kind of obsession to be in Harry and Meghan's space. It's immense. It's there. Whereby they want to be in Harry and Meghan's space. They want to be in Harry and Meghan's lives. They want to be in Harry and Meghan's home. Even last year, I saw this story whereby there was this people in the media were saying Thomas Markle should somehow go and Harry and Meghan should bring Thomas Markle to their house to live with him. I'm like, what?
Oh my God!
Because they want that, because they know that if he's living there with them, UK media can make a phone call and get all the information that they want. If you want a picture of Archie and Libidana, what they did on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they get it. So you can see they're trying to force themselves onto Harry and Meghan's lives, using anybody to impose themselves upon Harry and Meghan's lives. Harry and Meghan who don't want them to be around them, basically. And I feel like UK media. Now, people like Nile Gardiner should have some level of self-respect and understand one thing, that they themselves are showing Prince Harry himself that, he didn't miss out on anything by not being at the White House.
Yeah.
Actually, is happier being in Montecito than being around people who disrespect him or his wife. Sorry, and his wife Meghan.
Yeah.
Because also, Winnie,
yes.
when respect is not being offered, on that table, it's okay to wake up, to stand up, and leave. It's okay to stand up and leave. Don't tolerate or take disrespect from anybody.
You heard it from Brian.
Yeah.
Don't take disrespect from anybody. And I feel like Prince Harry is rewriting the wrongs that he has, faced,
gone through in his life.
And he's making up everything, even being present as a father and also being present as
exactly.
as a husband.
He wants to be the kind of, husband that Charles never ever was to Diana. He wants to be the father that Charles never ever was and never ever clearly is to Prince Harry. And that shows you how noble Harry is.
Yeah.
It shows you the mark of a very, very good man. And Harry, you are a good man. You are a special man. Yeah.
Still, Nile Gardiner has a lot to say. He proceeds to falsely claim this, and I quote, Harry's track record of undermining both the royal family and the US president has been a disgrace. Are the British media and the royal family not undermining themselves, Brian?
I feel like that's exactly what is happening, really. Because the ones who are undermining themselves are, King Charles, William, Camilla, Kate Middleton, Trump himself, by going after Harry, Meghan, an innocent couple living their lives and doing good in this world. As the smear campaign targeting Harry, Meghan made the farm look good, it has not.
It has never.
I know that UK media will lie to the farm and tell them that somehow it's good that we are going after Harry, Meghan to make you look good. But it doesn't make William look good. It doesn't make Kate look good. It doesn't make Charles himself as a father look good. Because let's be clear about one thing, really. Even the New York Times was asking this question. How come Prince Harry isn't there with his father or even meeting his father during his US state visit? And it shows really because Americans mostly value family life. And when they see a father even ignoring his own son, do you know who they blame for that? They blame Charles. Because Harry has done his part. He has reached out. He has said he wants peace. If the other side doesn't want peace, that's not on Prince Harry. That's on the other side. Because Harry himself has shown through actions he wants peace. It's the other side who want this conflict, who want this for Harry and Meghan to be seen as the villains of the story. But the thing is, it's not really working out because the public are showing love and support to Harry and Meghan. And they're not happy with Charles, William, Kate, and Camilla. Even the New York Times, they were for sort of blaming Charles, and showing that he's a failure as a father by not seeing his son. But what are the PR arm of the family doing? They're saying it's Harry's fault. It's Harry's fault. We won't allow that because the world knows the truth. It's Charles' fault.
They should take accountability that it's Charles' fault.
Exactly.
And you always give us a quote. There's this quote that you say, like, it takes two to tangle. So if the other side is not actually responding and Harry has already made a step, it's not a good picture.
It's not a good picture.
It's not a good picture.
And also, it's not Harry's fault. Harry has done his part, and I applaud him for doing his part.
Was Nile Gardiner himself, Nile Gardiner himself invited to the White House for King Charles' state visit? If not, does it make him irrelevant as well? I almost fumbled that question.
I like what you just said, basically. I will wish Nile Gardiner to see this so that we can tell him himself, basically. Nile Gardiner, you also weren't there on King Charles' state visit to the White House. You weren't there, Nile Gardiner. So basically, by your logic, it means that you are irrelevant, basically. You are very, 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 very much irrelevant, right? Even he admitted on GB News that he wasn't really invited there, and he was mourning and complaining about it. But he didn't go himself.
He didn't go.
So basically, these people tend to want to project their own, failures, their own misery onto Prince Harry. Now, Gardiner, you and Harry are not on the same level. You're someone who's to be unhappy in your own life. You're clearly miserable, and you want to project that misery onto Prince Harry. Stop picking on Harry and Meghan and let them live and work in peace. And also, even Jesus Christ said that he who has not sinned, let him cast the first stone. That's what Jesus Christ said, right?
Yeah.
You know, you can see here that Nile Gardiner is someone who, he himself never ever went to the White House. And here he is saying, Harry, you didn't go there.
You're irrelevant.
Did you go there? At least let someone who was there say this.
Talk about it.
Yeah, at least let someone who was actually there, let them say what you're saying. But not you, Nile Gardiner. More people, not you.
Not you.
Not you.
Stay away.
Stay away, yeah.
Nile Gardiner is clearly obsessed with Harry. What does he want, and when will he ever stop this obsession? Because it's clearly an obsession, Brian.
I do agree with you that it is clearly very much an obsession that he has, you know, with Prince Harry. I can't tell you that it will end because also they make a lot of money. From their obsession that they have towards Harry and Meghan. Yeah. So I can't say that it will end. I wish it ends.
It ends, yeah.
But honestly, I wouldn't say that I'm holding my breath.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not gonna say that basically. I wish it ends what they're doing to Harry and Meghan. I wish they stop doing what they're doing to Harry and Meghan. But their actions really don't surprise me. Yeah. Nile Gardiner is someone who was put as the point guy by Prince William and maybe even Charles to try and get Harry deported from the US and back to the UK. So they've seen that Harry has built a wonderful home for himself in the US. They want to ruin that for him. Ruin that for his kids by taking their father away from them. Yeah. While pretending that somehow they care about him, that they'll treat him well when he comes back. Yeah. They won't. They won't. Yeah. They only want Harry and Meghan separated because they want to ruin Harry's life, Meghan's life, their kids' lives, to prop up William and Kate and the kids. Yeah. That's what they want to do. And I thank God that despite what they've been trying to do all these years, you know, the farm and UK media haven't succeeded in their efforts to destroy, you know, Harry and Meghan. I thank God for that.
And they won't.
And they won't succeed in destroying Harry and Meghan.
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single day we pray for them that they will forever live in peace.
Yeah, Harry and Meghan forever live in peace. That's our prayer and that's our hope. Yeah. Yes. Thank you, of course, Rini, for having me as always. Yes. I'm very grateful that you keep, you know, having me here, and I honestly I'm really enjoying here. So I think I'm going to leave on the channel as well because I'm enjoying myself on your channel. I'm really enjoying myself. Doing this joint segments with you. Yes. Also makes me really feel happy, even though the topics that we even discuss, some of them aren't really comfortable. What I can say is that in the end of the day, love is what truly wins, and Harry and Meghan's love story is what, of course, has won. What you can never ever allow is the farm and UK media to succeed in writing history. Yeah. You know, with what they've done to Harry and Meghan. We can't allow them to do that because if we keep quiet also, UK media can promise you one thing: they will rewrite history. Oh, they will rewrite history. Look at even what they're trying to do right now. Charles is someone who's a failure as a father. They want to pin, you know, Charles' failures onto Prince Harry. If we keep quiet, they'll do that. They will do that. So we can't keep quiet. Otherwise, we'll allow them to shape and control the narrative. So thank you. That's what I just wanted to say. So, but thank you, Winnie, for having me. You are welcome, and thank you also for subscribing. Keep subscribing as well, and we'll look forward to other joint segments. So see you on the next one. Thank you, of course, and goodbye, and see you on our next video. Bye. Much love to all of you, and stay tuned for the next video. Goodbye. Bye.